Hi Year 6 and welcome to Monday's music lesson. This term we are starting a brand new unit and we are going to focus on a brand new piece of music. We're going to start today by reminding ourselves how we appraise a piece of music. So can you try and think back to our last music unit, which is when we focused on Happy by Pharrell Williams, and can you remember what it means to appraise a piece of music? When we did it a lot at the start of our lessons, listening to different songs and appraising them. Pause the video and see if you can note down what it means to appraise a piece of music. Okay, hopefully you can remember. Let's go through together. So here's our definition for appraise. If you appraise something or someone, you consider carefully and form an opinion about them. So in the case of music, if we appraise a piece of music, it means listening to it carefully, thinking about what you can hear, how the music makes you feel, and then coming to a decision, coming to an opinion about whether you like it or not overall and why. So being able to judge a piece of music, but based on thinking and listening really carefully. And then your judgment of the piece will be your appraisal. Okay, so appraise is the verb and appraisal is the noun, the thing that you've made at the end. So we're going to have a go at appraising some music today. I'm going to introduce you to the piece that's going to be our focus piece for the term. We're going to listen to it together here on this lesson. And then you're going to go away and you're going to personally appraise it. And then I'm going to give you a couple of other pieces to have a go at appraising as well. And I'm going to give you some questions to prompt your appraisal, so things to think about. So this term, our music unit is going to focus on jazz as a music genre. So if you remember, at the end of last term in our reading lessons, we talked about genres of books and stories and how you can have different types of stories. So it's the same in music. You can have different genres of music. Last time we looked at Happy by Pharrell Williams, which was more of a pop song. This time we're going to look at a piece which is jazz. Here's a little bit of background on jazz. So it began in the African American communities of America in the late 1800s to early 1900s. Improvisation plays a really big role in jazz. Now, if you remember at the end of last unit, we did some improvisation, and that meant not following notes, not following music that's been written or composed or planned, but just playing what you feel in that moment. So playing any notes that we'd learned, playing it however you wanted. That was improvisation, and we had a go with Happy. And that's going to form a really big part of this unit, because we're going to look at jazz music and improvisation plays a massive role. There's different types of jazz within the main umbrella, and there's certain instruments that you really associate with jazz. This picture here is of a saxophone, and that's really, really associated with jazz music, people playing the saxophone. That might be the first thing you think of if you think of jazz music, but also instruments like trumpets and trombones, and also the piano. Also mentioned here, you've got Louis Armstrong, famous jazz musician. He played the trumpet as well. So what I want to think about first is jazz being our main genre. I talked about pop music already. Can you pause the video and tell me what other music genres you know? Okay, hopefully you came up with a few there. We had jazz, we had pop, you could have rock music, hip hop music, classical music, indie music, country music, lots and lots of different types of music. You might have a favourite genre of music. You might have a type of music that you like to listen to, or even that you like to play, those of you who are instrumentalists. Or you might like songs from all different genres of music. And we're going to have an opportunity at the end of the lesson today to think about what your favourite music is and what your favourite songs are. So we are going to first listen to our focus piece. It is called Bacharach Anorak because it is based on the work of a man called Bacharach. And he is an American composer. It's not written by him. It's written for schools to have a go at jazz themselves, but it is inspired by his style. Ultimately, at the end of this term, we will be able to play the piece ourselves. Hopefully we'll get back to school and you can have a go on the real glockenspiels, but if not, we've got a way that we can have a go virtually. So today we're going to have our first listen to it. We're going to listen together, and we're going to talk about how we could appraise it. Then you're going to go and listen to another piece that was composed by Burt Bacharach, but is different. And then you're going to think about your favourite songs. So I'm going to introduce you in a moment to the piece. It's about 3 minutes long, and I'm going to play it within this lesson. As you are listening, these are some questions to prompt your appraisal. So thinking about it. So we've got our overall question of, do you like the tune? So maybe you're thinking, are you finding it catchy? Is it making you kind of dance along a little bit? Can you feel the beat and the rhythm of it? Can you feel the pulse? Remember when we did Happy, when we first listened to it, we could feel the pulse of it on our chest like that, like the heartbeat of the music. So you could try and do that. Are you finding that you're tapping your feet or you kind of, shimmying your shoulders along to it? I think it's quite a catchy piece, and so you might see me shimmying along. You'll see in a moment. Think about what instruments can you hear. So we talked about some of the instruments that are key to jazz. Can you hear any of them? Think about how the song's put together. Can you hear an introduction? Can you hear a chorus that repeats? Okay. Think about, is it just instruments, or are there any lyrics? Is there a vocalist, somebody singing? So lots to think about. Think about what images it draws to mind as you're listening. So we're going to listen together with these kind of questions in mind, as a bit of a model of how we could appraise. Then you're going to go off and do your personal appraisal. So here we go. Enjoy it. So there we have it. There is our piece of music. I hope you liked it. Think about what could we hear. I think we could hear the glockenspiel. I said it was written for us to play glockenspiels, and hopefully we'll get to play glockenspiels. I think we could hear some other percussion instruments in there, maybe a cymbal as well. I could definitely hear repeating portions. There was definitely a little rhythm or melody that repeated. And in terms of liking it, I quite liked it. I think that it's catchy. I think there are parts of it that I preferred than others. Certainly the bit where it begins, there's a bit that kind of had me moving and kind of a bit of a dancey rhythm. And I think that it will probably be stuck in my head for a little bit. So I think it's kind of catchy. And I think overall I would like it. I did like it. I'm not sure it's the usual kind of piece of music I'd listen to. Maybe I'd prefer it having some words and some lyrics, but I did enjoy it. So that's an example of how we can appraise a piece of music, kind of thinking about what we heard, thinking about how it made us feel, thinking if it made us want to dance, if it was catchy, whether we liked it or not. So your job now, I've put the recording of that Bacharach Anorak so you can listen to it again. And then there is a song called What the World Needs Now, which was composed by Bacharach. You can make your own appraisal on that. And then for your third appraisal, you are going to choose your favourite song or your piece of music. You could pick, could be just your favourite pop song or another genre that you really enjoy, that you always listen to, a song from your favourite band. It could be a song from a film or a musical that you really love. It could be a classical piece with no words or lyrics at all, just like the one we've listened to. So you are going to do in total for your independent task 3 appraisals. There's a sheet on the website that talks you through each one. The songs are there, except for your favourite one. You have to choose that, obviously, and then go and listen to it again and answer the questions. So you can print off the sheets, or you can just do your own writing on your piece of paper. It doesn't matter, but there's question prompts on there to help you. I would really love to know what you think about the songs, so do send across your appraisals, and we would love to hear what your favourite songs are as well. So make sure that you email across the work that you've done afterwards. Thank you for joining today's lesson.